One of the main themes of biology is that energy flows through a system, but nutrients are recycled. Now we'll take a look at how energy moves through an ecosystem. Remember that an ecosystem is the next level of organization up from a community. So it includes all of the living things in the community, plus the non-living things in that particular area. Energy flows through a system, meaning that it enters, it is changed as it is transferred, and eventually leaves. Nutrients, however, do not move through a system. They are recycled within a system, and they are always inside of the system. This terrarium represents an ecosystem. The energy enters as light. For the plant, all of the energy originally came as light energy from the sun. The light energy is harvested by the producers and turned into chemical energy in a form of sugars. The plant uses those sugars to make its own bodies. Every time energy changes from one form to another, a lot of energy is lost as heat. So the next thing that happens is the consumers eat the producers, and the energy is transferred again. As the animals use the energy to power their own bodies, a lot of energy is lost as heat as well. Ultimately, all of the energy will be used by the animals or lost as heat. Without the sun continuously sending energy to Earth, we would run out of energy. The nutrients don't enter or leave. Chemicals get recycled. For example, the snail is breathing out carbon dioxide. The plant uses that carbon dioxide in photosynthesis and then releases oxygen. The snail then breathes in the oxygen. It's a cycle. Primary production is when solar energy is changed into chemical energy during photosynthesis. What organisms can do this? If you said producers, you're right. There are two measurements of primary production, or energy. Gross primary production is the total amount of energy that the plants and other producers absorb from the sun. This is only about 1% of the total amount of energy in the sunlight that actually reaches the Earth. The net primary production is the amount of energy that is available to the consumers, the next level of the trophic levels. This means it is stored as chemical energy and makes up part of the producer's body, like the fruit that you eat. The net primary production is smaller than the gross primary production because a lot of energy is used by the plant and a lot of energy is lost as heat. So the next trophic level, the primary consumers, have less energy available to them than the producers did. Each time energy moves up the food chain, about 90% of the energy is lost. This results in what looks like an energy pyramid. For example, if you look at the pyramid on the top right, if 1 million kilocalories of sunlight energy are absorbed by plants, this would be the gross primary production. Only about 10% of that, or 10,000 kilocalories, are actually available to the consumers, the next level. This is the net primary production. The decrease is caused because the plants use some of the energy for themselves. They also stored the energies in the bodies, and not all of the plants will be consumed. They lost some of that energy as heat. So only 10% of energy moves from the primary producers to the primary consumers, the grasshopper. Because the available energy drops so quickly, the amount of energy available to the next trophic level becomes very small very quickly. Of the 1 million kilocalories of sunlight that were absorbed by the plants, only 10 kilocalories of those are available to the tertiary consumer, the snake. This is why most food chains are very short. They end with a tertiary or a quaternary consumer. It also explains why there are very few tertiary or quaternary consumers. The energy pyramid can also show the energy costs of eating meats versus plants. The same amount of corn could feed 10 people or 10 cows. Those 10 cows, however, only provide enough energy to support one person. This assumes that the cows are eating corn-fed beef as well. So a vegetarian eats at a lower trophic level than a meat eater and eats more of the energy that was available from the sun.